Okay, there's only a couple of these on the final, but I needed a third video and I thought, well, this is okay. So what we do is we make two ovals. And you take the x numbers, the first numbers, and write it lowest to highest or highest to lowest. Then, same thing here. Then you draw an arrow to match up the x with the corresponding y that goes with it. Now, if each x has a different y that goes with it, this is a function. Now, in upper level math, they really get into this. For our class, it's not that big of a deal. I think there's one question on the final about it. But again, each x has to have a different y. So this one, we have 1, 5, and then it goes 6, 7, and 8. Now, does more than one arrow come from your x value? If it does, this is not a function. So again, notice each one has one arrow that comes from it. This has more than one arrow. In this case, it actually has 3, so not a function. This is a function because they each have just one arrow that goes to the number. This has more than one arrow or more than one y that goes with the 5. So this one, we go 4, 5, 6, the x numbers, and this one only has one y. But notice there's only one arrow coming from the 5. Only one arrow coming from the 6, the x value. So this is a function. So more than one arrow coming from the same x, not a function. Only one arrow coming from the 4, coming from the 5, coming from the 6, the x values, then it is a function. So I have 3 more problems here. Map them, freeze the video, map them, and then determine if it is or is not a function. Then turn me back on. Okay, so this one. We have 6, 7, 8, and the y values, the second values, we have 2 and 3. 6 goes to 2, 7 goes to 2, 8 goes to 3. There's only one arrow coming from the 6. Only one arrow coming from the 7. Only one arrow coming from the 8. So this is a function. So this one, we have 3 and 4. We have 1, 2, 3. 3 goes to 1, but 3 also goes to 2. 2 arrows, same x. So I know right away it's not a function, even though the 4 only has one arrow. Now this one, we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, the y's, that's a horrible oval. So 1 goes to the 1, 2 goes to the 2, 3 goes to 3. Only one arrow from each x. So therefore, this is a function, whatever that is. So it is a function because only one arrow from each number. Not a function because this has more than one, actually has 3 coming from your x value. That's the one that matters. Not how many goes to the y, how many comes from the x. So is a function because each one of the x has one arrow. Is a function because each has one arrow. not a function because 3 has 2 arrows coming from it, from the x values. And this is a function. Oops, I'm getting sloppy here. Because each x value, the first value, the domain, remember this is called the domain, the x values, and this is called the range, the y values. So 1 from each is a function, 2 from the same one of the domain, not a function. So we had 2 not a functions because this had 3 coming from the x. Okay, well, I think this is good for today. See ya.